Hey guys, Alisha here with Terradrift, and we're coming at you with a review of the Big Agnes. Those were armadillos. The Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. Here's what we love about it. It's ultra light. That's number one. It packs up much smaller than any other tent we've ever had before. The whole thing is made out of ultralight materials, guy lines, zippers, everything. It weighs almost nothing packed up. Trail weight is 1 pound 15 ounces, which is super light, and I love that about it. You'll find a lot of backpacking tents that claim to be ultralight, but they're really just a tarp, or you have to pitch them with trekking poles, and they do really poorly in the rain or collect condensation. But this is a great all-in-one tent that functions very well in all sorts of weather. The tent poles themselves are light and small. They're all connected to one point, and there are 3 poles that come out the back and the front of the sides. So they pack up really small and light as well, which is super. All of that means it takes up very little room in our packs when we're backpacking. Another great thing about the shape and design of this tent and the poles is that it can withstand some serious winds. We put it up in Caprock Canyon State Park in Texas, and overnight and during the day while we were hiking, the park experienced something like 40-mile-per-hour winds, and when we got back to our campsite, ours was the only tent of 3 that suffered 0 damage, so that was really exciting. Not a single cracked tent pole, no tears, it was still staked in the ground. We basically won camping that night, so that was pretty exciting. Another great feature is that if you remove the fly, about 3/4 of the tent itself is actually mesh. So in the summer it's really cool when you're sleeping and it's warm, and like here in Texas it's really humid in the summer. It's really nice to be able to lay in a tent with the fly off, look up at the stars, and just enjoy nature. And of course, if the weather turns or whatever, you put the tent fly right back on and you're all set to go. We've also camped in this tent in relatively cold temperatures. We've taken it camping when it was below freezing and we woke up to frost on the fly. And honestly, it was quite cozy compared to some other tents that we've camped in really cold temperatures. So that was surprisingly nice. Do keep in mind that the tent fly does not have any vents on it. So we haven't yet camped in it in hot, rainy conditions, but if you are in a place where you can't leave the fly off, it may get a little stuffy if it's really warm outside. But it's really quite cozy in cool temperatures. As for the things we're not crazy about with this tent, mostly it has to do with the size. This is a 2-person tent, but you may notice it's pretty snug. It's the smallest 2-person tent we've ever had. For a more average size, larger size backpacker, this is gonna be a 1-person tent. For Josh and I, it works okay because I'm 5'3", he's 5'6". We're pretty small people. We fit all right together in this, although it is quite cozy. Our climate sleep pads touch and even maybe overlap just a smidge back near the foot of the tent where it gets just a little bit narrower. So keep that in mind if you're either a very tall or a very wide person looking for a backpacking tent. There is a little room inside for some extra stuff, but mostly just like headlamps, shoes, a water bottle. Maybe you could squeeze in a small day pack or 2, but otherwise I wouldn't try to cram too much stuff in there because there's just not that much room. There is room in the vestibule area. We've put both of our backpacks up in here overnight when we need to store them, keep them out of the weather. We've even sort of unzipped this a bit and used it to light our stove in windy conditions. Another thing I'm not super crazy about, and it's the same with most of the tents I've ever had in my life, the zippers don't run super smooth. You do have to kind of pull and tug a little bit to get everything unzipped. As you can see, it's pretty tight. When Josh and I tried to squeeze in here together and sit up to play cards or read or play a game or whatever, it's a little snug. It works better if we're both laying down. There is enough room for me to sit up straight, but when 2 of us are in here and we have to sort of cram to the side, you're a little hunched. But honestly, once you get down there and are laying down comfortably in your sleeping bag, it's really pleasantly cozy. This tent retails for between $350 to $380, depending on where you're gonna find it. So there you have it. the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. If you liked this review, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future adventures and gear reviews. And check out our website, terradrift.com, for all kinds of outdoor travel and adventure. And if you have any questions about the tent, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you're interested in getting your own Big Agnes, check the link in the description below. Wander on.